Hello everyone, I'm Judelle Niemeyer from Quiltworx, and today I am going to teach you how to do something new and exciting using Quiltster. We have published a layout in Quiltster for the Bali Wedding Star. It is a little different than the way you color some of our other projects, so I wanted to take an opportunity to explain it to you and provide information that will make it so that you can get off to a great start in coloring this project and understand how to use Quiltworx strip sets. So the first thing I want to talk about is if you are not already a member of Quiltster, it is really easy to join. It is a subscription-based service. It is $10, well actually $9.99 a month or $99 a year. You can simply click on Become a Member and you can subscribe. I'm going to just log into my account here and then we can get started on designing. If you want to do it on a monthly basis, you can simply log into this and you are able to use it for a month and then you can come back to it later if you want. You can color your project, you can cancel it, you can do that simply through the account here. You just click on that, go to the account, and then you'll see a button right there at the top. If you want to keep Quiltster and continue to work on it or work on more projects as well and explore the program, you're very welcome to do that and just let your subscription continue to renew itself. It will renew automatically. So let's get started on the Bali Wedding Star. So the first thing you're going to do is either go to Quilt Planner and Quilt Patterns. So I'm going to go here. And then from there you can see all of these projects that you can work on. I have just published Bali Wedding Star in Quiltster, so we're going to start with that one. You can click Create Project, and this will bring you to a page with some templates on it. There's a few different templates here. We're going to work on the first one here, which is the matches the cover sheet that is on the newest publication. But there's a couple different options explained in the pattern for how you can put your how you can sew your blocks together to get a more organized or a more random mixed look. The one on the cover sheet was done using the mixed option this time. Every once in a while we do one using what we call the paired Rainbow Garden option 2. In addition, you can scroll down and you can see pre-colored templates. These are ones where we've already gone through the effort to add the fabrics. They're probably being sponsored, or I shouldn't say sponsored, but offered by quilt shops or by Quiltworx in the Quiltster marketplace at the present time, and they're just examples of how we've put together something. It's great, for example, on like the one with the Tonga batiks and apple basket. Since we made the original cover, even a few of the solids that were used in the star points were discontinued. And so if that is the case, it allows you to go in and select new pieces and you don't have to recolor the whole project. Or vice versa, you can switch out something that you don't like, for example, and see what it's going to look like. So that's what the pre-colored templates are for. We're going to work today with this very first one. It is the option 1 mixed. It's called the Mixed Garden layout in the pattern. And we're going to come in here and I'm going to label this. We're going to color it with the apple basket strip set today. So I gave it a name, Create Project. And this is the primary spot where you're going to notice something different. So it used to be, or in most of our layouts, you can scroll over the entire project and Like if I wanted to click here, I could click there and select the block in order to color it. So in this layout, it's slightly different. You can either select the background, and that you can select pretty much anywhere you want to scroll over and click on it, or you can select the rings. In order to select the rings, however, you have to go to the outside ring and click there, and that selects the rings. You can see it only highlights the outside set of rings, but when we open it up, it will color all of the rings in the quilt. So we're going to start with that. Once you've got one that's selected, you can come down and you can click edit. This layout is not one that you can unlock because it uses strip sets, and so you have to follow a prescribed method in order to get the rings to work out the way that you want. With that in mind, we're going to start out. So the four A1A through A1, so A1A to A1D, those are your little 4 center squares. In most of our layouts, you can click anywhere in the drawing over here and you can choose that. However, in this one, you cannot do that. You have the option of either clicking along the edge of the quilt, or you can click in the boxes up above. And the boxes really make more sense anyway for the wedding star, because you'll notice that I have all of the rest of the ring colors labeled as G1C1 to G1C8, clear down to G12C1 to G12C8. This stands for Group 1, Color 1, and it has to do with how Quiltworx puts together our ring sets. And I'll show you a closer image of a Quiltworx strip set in just a minute, and then show you how quick and easy it is to put one of those into this project. First, let's color these though. So I know I want my A1A color to be black. So I'm going to come down to the filter, and I'm going to go to Timeless Treasures, because I'm going to do this out of a Quiltworx strip set, which is manufactured by Timeless Treasures. And I'm going to search for Tonga Black. So you can search this way, or if you know what collection you want to go to, for Timeless, for example, their solids are usually in the Java blenders. But here is the Tonga B79 Black. You can see that, let's see, so if I click on that, then that will color that section. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to choose A1B. So that one, let's go just to show you how it works. I'm going to delete this. And then we're going to search. So that clears my filters out. And then I'm going to come down to Collections and scroll down to Tonga, and I'm going to find the Java blenders. So here's a Java blender collection. So we like to pair our strip sets with our Java blender solid collections. They just provide a nice backdrop and contrast to all of the different color variations that are in the strip sets. So I want to make this one, let's see, I'm going to do ink. So there's ink. I want it to be another dark color. So then this one pairs with the black. So I'm going to pick a nice color to pair with the black. I think for that I want to choose a purple. So let's see what my options are here. All right, we're going to choose allium here. And then for the other one, let's see, A1D, I would like to choose, I think I'm going to choose a red. Let's go with this nice red here. Okay, now I'm to all of my rings. So if I zoom out, you can see that's colored all of those four, all the little 4 patches there. So on the rings, we're going to go to All Designers. We're going to go down to Judy and Judelle Niemeyer. And then we're going to go to Collections, And anything that says Quiltworx strip set here, these are the strip sets that we have released in the past. We're going to choose Apple Cider, which is our brand new strip set, and it's also the one that's on the cover of the quilt. Now, in the cover quilt, we used this strip set twice. You don't have to do that. You can use 2 different strip sets if you like. Judy actually prefers to use 2 different ones because then you just get a lot more movement and color in your quilt. But for this version, we used just one, and we used it twice, partly because of availability and also just because we wanted to show it as a different option. So you can see up here, we have G1C1, G1C2, G1C3, right? When you come down here to the strip sets, these are all organized in color group. And when I click on this one here, this one, and I don't know why it's not showing up, but there's a little pop-up that when you hover over the fabric that tells you what the fabric name is, and it says G1C1. And I don't think you guys aren't gonna see that here, but anyway, you will see it in the yardage chart when I show this to you, but just know that there's a pop-up here and it says G1C1. So we're gonna choose G1C1 here. We're going to just come down here and we're going to find the G1C1 fabric, and we're going to put that in place. And then we're going to go find G1C2, which is this next one here. And then G1C3, which is this one. G1C4 is the next one. And G1C5. G1C6, 6. Let me see, did I mess that up? I did. We got to go back to G1C5 and choose our 5th fabric. That's this one over here. There we go. Now we have G1C6 in place, G1C7, and G1C8. All right, now when you zoom out, you can see I have my first ring color set in place. So I'm going to click back into that again. Remember, you have to choose in this layout that outside ring in order to select the quilt, which is a little bit different than the way we do it in different patterns. So now, because I want these randomly distributed, I'm just going to go to group 3, C1, and I'm going to repeat those same colors with group 3. Actually, let's do that a little different. I'm going to do it with group 10. So that way I can make all of my group 2, the G2 group, and all the way through group 6, because there's 6 ring color sets in each Quiltworx strip set. And then we're just going to repeat it in this. If you had 2 different colorways, you could put the second colorway into the groups 7 through 12, but we're just going to repeat each of our groups in one of them to get a nice random layout of colors. Oops. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, 8, 7, and 8. Okay, so that group is in place. So now we're going to go to group 2, which is this purple group. So I'm going to click this in. And you can see this really is not, because of the way we have them all labeled and listed in Quiltster, this is really not going to take that much time. And also, when you open your package of strips, you're going to see that they are already in exactly this order. So you can, as long as you don't mix up the order on these, you'll be able to very quickly translate this to to your papers and your overall project. So it's a pretty cool product in the fact that it's so well organized for you. And then from there, it's just whether or not you've picked the strip set that you like. I should also note that you can make your own strip sets. This is something that I do a lot when I go into quilt shops. I will head on over to their batik section, and sometimes I do it out of other things too as well. We already talked about the fact that there was a Tim Holtz strip set sample there, so you can do it really out of anything. And I sort the fabrics and come up with these nice color arrangements out of whatever they have in the store. It's a really fun thing to do. It just takes a little bit of time. And then of course the other part of that is if you're doing it out of your stash, for example, then you have to go in and cut all the 2.5 inch strip sets. So if that's something that you don't want to do, i.e. cut your own strip sets, then I would really suggest looking into purchasing the pre-cut options that are available. So we're going to go to group 3 here, and we're just going to work our way through this whole layout, coloring each of the sections. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I know I'm scrolling through this pretty quickly, but I really just want to give you guys an idea how the process works here so that you can go and be successful at coloring your own as well. And I think once most people get the hang of how everything is related, they're really surprised at how quickly they can color one. It makes it, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we're on 5. It makes it really fun to sit down and plan your project. Being able to pick out all of your own fabrics, make it look exactly how you want here, and within reason. Yeah, you're right that we don't, some of you may be saying, well, you're not allowing me to go and change how I group the ring colors, and that part is true, and most of that is just simply because if we allow you to do that, then it gets hard to follow the instructions on the wedding star as far as like how to group all of your pieces and pair them and everything. So we do have some limitations in that you need to follow the instructions in the pattern, but otherwise, you know, you can do this in lots of different ways. If you want to make them all the same color, you can easily do that. Just pick your 8 fabrics and then repeat those fabrics in every group 1 color 1, or in every color 1 for each of the 12 groups, for example. If you want to just use a couple ring color sets, then you can put 6 in one and 6 in the other, and you can pair them up differently to get different looks and shading across the quilt. So that's something that we think is pretty fun as well. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I skipped a color there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, I got it. 6. 7. 8. All right, we just got a few more to click in here. 1, 2, 6. All right, we've already placed 4 of our ring color sets, so I don't know exactly how long we've been going here, but you can see that it's not going to take us too much longer to get to the end of our little project here. And then I can show you how the backgrounds and the stars work, and you should be able to color one of these projects fairly quickly here for yourself. I will say, if you're going to create your own ring color sets, obviously that's going to take you a little bit more time, because you're going to have to find the fabrics and coordinate the color wash or the color run. I have even seen some really great ones where they have not done this light to dark concept, but instead done some other fun layouts where they've alternated colors, for example, or they've just used a scrappy collection of reproduction fabrics. That's actually one of my favorite versions that I've seen, is one where someone used reproduction fabrics to do the rings. It came out looking very vintage and fun, and it just was a completely different look to this ring color set concept that we use. So now that it's in Quiltster, I am looking forward to seeing how different people interpret it, and we also plan on adding a few other things to it as well. So we will be adding let's see, what ring color am I on here? There we go. We will be adding an option where you can see what it would look like if it was squared up, and we will be adding some larger sizes over the coming weeks. So if you want to do queen and up to king size layouts, you'll be able to access those, and they will all be colored the same way, where you need to click on the boxes up here in order to create your layouts, instead of clicking over here to select your colors. So just keep that in mind. But we're excited to be able to bring you all of those different options. You can look at what it would look like with the little, we have like a geese square up border. And then it'll give you the number of rings that, or the number of strips, and the different number of the different yardages that you need for each of those larger sizes. So it is possible in the future that we could load up some different ring blocks, meaning blocks that had different types of paper pieced units in them. We have had those in the past, so I conceivably would think that, you know, that might be something fun we did again in the future. We also have the possibility of putting different types of backgrounds in a lot of these quilts. We have one fun one that we have never published, but we think looks pretty cool, where there's some flying geese in the center. So you just never know what the opportunities might present with the fact that now we have it in Quiltster and we can do some planning with those projects. We also have the ability to, so we have a Creative Grids ring color set, and one of the really awesome things about the Creative Grids ring color, Creative Grids ruler, for the wedding ring series is that you could actually do these and not piece those rings at all. So it is also conceivable that we will load up some options where you could just use the rulers to cut your pieces and sew them back together, and really you just need to have the rulers in order to make that that version of the quilt. It's not necessarily faster in terms of doing all of the curved piecing, but it's certainly faster in doing the foundation paper piecing. So the wedding ring series for Quiltworx is extensive. The other thing is, I know a lot of you have been interested in a pattern that we have called Grandma's Wedding Ring that doesn't have the stars in it. So that's one that we're hoping to get into Quiltster now that we've resolved the loading challenges that we've had with this layout. And it will function similarly, where you have to click on the outside ring in order to open the block, and then you color it through clicking on these pieces instead of clicking out here in the quilt. So that's just a little bit different than most of our other patterns, so I wanted to make sure that everybody understands it. Okay, so there we go. Our ring sets are colored, so now we can work on those backgrounds. Quiltworx likes to use a series of, or a collection of fabrics that we call wallflowers. So wallflowers are light pastel colors that are designed by Judy and Judelle Niemeyer. That's me and my mom. And they are great for mixing and matching in projects like this, just in the background, so that you get lots of fun variations. So I'm just going to click through some of our little wallflower collections here and choose some of my favorite colors that go with these nice warm earth tones. And then we can look back at our solids for how to color the, let's see, I think we got them all. Let's scroll up here and see. So we do have all of those. And you'll notice in this one, in this background, I can scroll out here and I can click wherever I want. It's only the ring color sets where you have to do it differently. So then we always make half of our star out of black, and so that's what this link is. You don't have to do black, but just so you know, it does color half of every star point. And then we go in with our Java blenders again to color to create our star points. So let's see, let's find that Java blenders collection. Tonga Java blenders. Oh, I have it. I have to go back out in order to do that to all designers, because the Java blenders are not exclusive to Judy and I. So now we can scroll down to the Tonga Java blenders here. There we go. And it really is up to you what colors you want to choose. So I know kind of what we chose for the cover, but I think I mentioned earlier that some of those had been discontinued. So we're just going to do our best to come close to what was originally in there. So I'm choosing some greens, and then I'm going to choose like some reds and purples and browns to go in these other points here. I think I chose Diva already. I think we'll choose this purple down here. Okay, so there we go. So there is our completed Bali Wedding Star. So you can come over here and you can check yardage. It shows all of the different fabrics that I used. This little shopping cart, this is just related to the fact that some of these fabrics are things that you could possibly purchase out of Quiltster. but you can also just complete it and then use the fabric guide for your own information. If you click on Buy Block, it gives you some extra details. It tells you what the fabric reference was and what size of a strip set you need in order to get started on your pattern. By group, this simply puts all of your fabrics in alphabetical order and matches your unit charts that are in your pattern. It has A, B, C, D, and then you can see it sets up your strip sets for you so that you can go through and double check those. One thing that's really nice here to do is make sure that everything says only 2.5 inches, so you make sure that you don't accidentally double up on something, and then you can go back and fix it. So these are just some things that I look for. You can scroll all the way down, see everything, and then the other thing you can do on this page, let's go back to Buy Fabric, is at the bottom you could add backing and binding. So I like to bind most of my wedding star quilts in the black. You can obviously choose whatever color you would like, but that's something that I do. Close this, and now let it save here at the bottom. And then you can go back out to projects, and I moved down of there a little bit too fast and it didn't save the color there. Not to worry though. All we have to do is click back into it and everything is there. So once it all gets loaded, see, it's all there. So now I'm just going to do a hard save in case that happens. This design has a lot of different fabrics and a lot of different pieces in it. So every once in a while, these are things that you might have to do if you move around the program too quickly. Okay, it says that it's saved. I'm going to go back out again and just double check that that image looks the way I want it to. It does. Okay, so now see these 3 little buttons right here? If I click on those, I'm going to wait for that little circle to stop. But there's a print view button. So as soon as that little circle stops spinning, we're going to click on those, and then we're going to click print view. And this will give me everything that I need in order to make the quilt. So the first thing is an image. You can click on this, you can save it out to your computer as a higher res image so that you can zoom in on it and get closer and see which fabrics go where. You get your by fabric information for your yardage chart. So this tells you how much of each of the fabrics you need. Obviously we used 2 of each of these, 2 packages. So each of these should say 5 inches. And they certainly do. It does, oh, I see one that says, and that doesn't say that. So I probably have a mistake somewhere in there that I need to go back and double check that piece. And then also we have the rest of the yardage information down here. 3/8 of a yard for all of our solid pieces, and then we have our black somewhere here, 2 1/4. And then you can, let's see, by block, by group. So under by group, you can see that same information, by block, and you can now print it. So you click on this print button and you go to your print. You can also print it to PDF, and you can also just bookmark this page. Even if you move in and out of Quiltster, meaning you cancel your account, but you still want to access your projects, if you bookmark this page, you can get that info. You can go back and check out that bookmark and get back to this at any time. You can also send this page to someone. So if you're making the quilt for somebody, you can share it with them so that they can see what it looks like. And then you can make real-time edits and fix it. So that should cover most of the information that you need in order to color a Bali wedding star. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you guys are excited about being able to plan your own project here. I'm obviously going to go back and fix a couple of that little mistake that I found earlier, but otherwise I think that you guys have everything that you need to do this project successfully. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.